So we just want to cover now, what if you can't wrap your legs around somebody because of the size of the person? You don't necessarily have to be able to clasp your legs together, or sorry, your arms together around the legs. But depending on what you're coming up against, you might have somebody that's already positioned themselves and has a very wide base that if I tried to drop down and wrap my arms around, even at 6'5", it's very difficult for me to do anything with that. As long as the person that goes for lower body control can take out one leg even, it affects Landon's ability to actively post and be able to correct his base. If both legs are free, he moves freely, but if Kevin drops down and grabs one leg, just wraps around here, he's grabbing around at the knee. Because of Kevin's training, he likes grabbing down at the ankle too, that's fine, or it can be both up at the knee. Anything that just stops it now, if I start pushing Landon, you'll see how he can mostly correct with just one leg at this point. If he tries to move his left leg, it's stuck. Even that is now going to make it easier that when I have this control, even if I start pulling Landon off in the direction where he can post, it's difficult for him to correct enough. That's what we're looking for. Can we make the client less athletic so that then we're going to be able to overwhelm them with the techniques that we're using? Especially if we have this limb that gets taken out at the left side, the left leg, it's going to be even easier to take him to that side because that becomes the area that's considered the dead angle within grappling where he doesn't have the ability to actively base in that direction. That would be the best direction to take him. So as I tie up here and Kevin comes in and grabs that left leg, if I'm able to pay attention and notice what's going on here, I can now start pulling Landon in that direction now where his leg is caught to start guiding him down to the ground. And depending on how big this person is, sometimes you'll have an officer on either side, where if Landon's up against the wall here, and this is how I had to go in for like this collar tie, I'm pinning him here, Kevin could grab the leg on this side, I could still have room for another officer, a third officer coming in and grabbing that leg. Their job is not to pick the person up, just to keep them from being able to base, so that now I'm able to walk away from the wall and pull Landon down into a prone position. So you're not trying to pick somebody up. If somebody knows how to do wrestling and can pick up like a single leg from there, it's not going to be, there's nothing wrong with that as long as they're not fighting and pulling in an opposite direction as the person with upper body control. But if the person's legs are wide apart, or if they're too big, just look to try and control one leg. You'll still do a lot of important work there to be able to affect the client's base.